you need if you're going to a wedding.
Oh, there you go. It's like you know what's coming next.
Telepathy.
Now, there were lots of changes made during the pandemic, and being able to hold outdoor weddings and civil partnerships was actually one of them. And now that's going to be legalised permanently in both England and Wales.
Previously, civil ceremonies had to take place indoors or outdoors within a permanent structure, such as a bandstand, as Daniela Ralph reports.
COVID restrictions encouraged more of us outdoors, including those holding a civil ceremony. Previously, they had to be indoors, or if they were outdoors, only within a permanent structure such as a bandstand.
You are now husband and wife.
The change to allow more outdoor ceremonies was supposed to be temporary, but it's proved incredibly popular. The government consultation found overwhelming support for more outdoor ceremonies from the public, faith organisations and the wedding industry, which saw business plummet due to the lockdowns and limitations on the number of guests. The consultation also showed that the vast majority who responded, across all faith groups, supported extending the legislation to religious weddings. Reforms in that area are now being looked at. The government says the changes mean couples will have a greater choice in how they celebrate one of the most important days in their life, with more personalised ceremonies and a boost to the entire wedding sector. Daniela Ralph, BBC News.
Never been to a wedding in a bandstand then.
Such as a bandstand. We are joined now by Annabel Candler, who is a wedding planner. How do you feel about this news? Because it feels like now that I suppose people have been to those outdoor weddings, it would be weird to go back to a world where you can't do it anymore.
Yeah, we've been let loose now.
Oh, OK.
You know? And thing is, I come from a beautiful part of the world, so realistically...
The Lake District?
Yeah.
Yes, and
yeah.
that's where you specialise in planning weddings, is that right?
Yeah, outdoor weddings, so teepees, marquees, you name it, to be honest, a garden, anywhere, up a fell, in a cave, lakeside, anywhere. So when you work in that kind of scenario, you want to be able to get married where you've chosen the setting. So we've found ways around it. So this makes things a lot easier for couples, definitely, and it means you don't have so much planning to kind of work around it. So it makes it easier, and I think a lot of people and a lot of venues that have got all these epic gardens and things, they're absolutely going to be over the moon for this.
Such as this, somewhere beautiful like this. The only thing I would say is, does it not make you just a tiny bit nervous about the weather? Yeah.
That's the thing. You can relax the law, but we are in the UK.
Yeah. So you really do need a bandstand at that point, don't you?
Yeah.
Just for a bit of shelter.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah. Unfortunately, you can change the law, but you can't predict the weather. So you've always got to have a backup anyway, especially in the lakes.
So if there's somebody watching this morning who's planning a wedding, I mean, what sort of things should they be taking into consideration other than the weather?
Think about your guests. Think about the space that they need, the access. You know, some of those guests are going to struggle to get to, you know, if you do pick lakeside or if you're, you know, somewhere higher up, think about the accessibility for some of those guests as well, not just, well, it's beautiful. Yeah, when it comes to the weather, you do need to think about having an alternative space, so just in case. Or I have done weddings in the rain, but you need to check that your guests are OK with that as well.
Lots of umbrellas, I'm guessing, at that.
Oh, yes.
Now, it's been such a difficult couple of years for the wedding industry, hasn't it? Is this going to help?
Yeah, it makes everything easier.
Yeah.
It opens up a lot more options, and it allows couples to kind of work with their venue and their chosen location much easier.
Tell me, what are the more unusual locations you think people will get married?
Oh, you name it.
Go on.
Did you say cave earlier?
Yeah.
Have you done it? Have you
No,
done a
I
wedding in a
nearly
cave?
did.
Right.
I
Okay.
nearly did, and I didn't get permission. One day.
Big cave or little cave?
Big cave.
Okay. How many guests can you fit in this cave? I'm interested.
It
in this
depends
cave.
how many of them want to wear wellies.
Oh, OK.
So I suppose you've got to have guests who, like you say, who are willing to
who
face
don't mind
the
it.
problems.
Yeah.
But there are, and I'm sure there'll be many people watching this who still love the traditional church wedding and then a reception elsewhere. I imagine there'll be a reduction in church weddings, but there's still an important part of that. There's a place for that.
Oh, completely. I think weddings, especially these days, are all about being personal, having choice, variety. So all this is doing is opening up to whatever you'd like. So there'll always be a huge variety out there of the type of ceremonies you can have. This just makes it easier for everybody.
So true, isn't it? Weddings are becoming more personal because there's so much more freedom now. What sort of things have you had to arrange?
Ooh, I think the quirkiest was a groom saying to me, they both came from Arizona into the lakes, and he said, the only thing I'd really like is a sheep at the wedding.
Okay.
One
And
sheep.
Just one sheep. I mean, specifically, he wanted the sheep to serve the beer. I said, Cumbrian sheep aren't known for being very friendly like that. They're often up a fell, not behind the bar.
No.
Did you organise the sheep?
I totally did. Nailed
You
it.
didn't, did you?
Totally. She was called Crystal. She wasn't a Herdwick, but she was absolutely brilliant.
Did she serve beer?
We surprised a couple. Even better, the sheep brought the rings down the aisle.
Of course.
Outdoor ceremony. This is the things you can do with them.
Right, I need more detail. How did the sheep? What, a little collar around the neck or what?
We had an old-fashioned cart, filled a bucket full of beers, and she pulled the cart along after the ceremony. So if she did actually serve the beer.
Well.
Oh, glad I asked
Yeah.
that question.
You ask, I
Wow.
didn't.
I think I know you well enough to know that wouldn't be your ideal wedding.
Who knows? Definitely not a cave. I'm going to say definitely not
I'm
a
guessing
cave.
you didn't have any sheep at your wedding.
No.
No. Okay. Thank you very much. It's lovely to see you.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
sure we'll speak to you again.
Thank you.
It is.